So you didn't know this, right? in the car. In the car. When was it? From the gym to the stadium?
Yeah.
Because she's got a hair brush. She's like brushing her hair.
I didn't know she was checking herself in the mirror when
She
she
was
was parked.
She was checking herself in the mirror. She was doing her. She got her eyelash curler out. She's curling her eyelashes.
Really?
You've done well.
I don't think anyone's ever been as prepared for an interview.
I can guarantee you Mitch just walked up and went, right,
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So in the car, you look a little nervous and shit. So,
Nah, I'm good.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Should we do the introduction?
Yeah.
Are
Ready?
you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. Hola amigos.
Hola, amigos.
Hola, amigos.
Welcome to another episode of the Murph and Mitise Show.
In this next song, you must march around the room. Here we go.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. Just sit down in the chair.
Special edition. Said that last time.
Back to back.
Back to back special edition. So today we have a special guest.
Hola.
Wait, I'm going to say the name.
You say the name.
I'm going to
You
say
say
now
the
you
name.
correct me if I get this anywhere near wrong.
Okay.
So it's Maria Jose Rojas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like to say Maria Jose Rojas Escobar Pablo Alvarez.
Is half that made up?
All of that's made
Don't
up.
try to say Cote. That's okay.
Cote.
So that's where I want to start this, is because look, when I bring a guest in, Josh is the main person that runs the show, because I know about my guest and he knows nothing. You're the one I know nothing about, and he knows about you. So I'm doing this research. I'm like, okay, I've got to find out about this Cote girl. So I'm looking up on Instagram and on Wikipedia, and then it opens up all these other pages. I'm like, okay, let's just find out about other stuff. And not once, other than the nickname, did I see Cote. So I'm like, okay, it's Maria, it's Maria, it's
I know
Maria.
it's Maria Jose.
So where did Cote come from? Even your Instagram is Cote Rojas.
It's Cote Rojas.
Yeah.
So where did Cote come from?
Yeah, well, everyone asked me the same question. It's just, look, a nickname from Chile. So if you are Maria Jose, people will call you Cote, like a short name. So everyone knows in Chile only. Because wherever I go, people is like, why Cote? Are you Maria Jose Cote? Like, no, they call me Cote because in Chile it's shorter, it's easier, and a reason, no idea. Just a nickname.
Is it like I imagine it's like in Australia where it's short things.
Yeah.
Everything's short and you have to make
Add
it
O's
easy
to
for us.
things,
Yeah.
make it easy. I think that's what it is.
So anytime you have Maria Jose, it's Cote.
Yeah, they will call you Cote.
Anyone.
So, Maria Jose, oh, Cote. Cote.
Yeah, right. There you go. That answers the first question. That's
First question. And I knew you were going to go with this. I knew you were going to go with it.
because I'm looking around and I can't find any reason that there's a Cote there. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've got to start with that because it's just...
But actually sent me what is that?
That's the fridge.
That's a fridge color.
There's the music.
Murph actually sent me a photo the night of him doing. It was on your gram.
Yeah.
Random of him.
The background.
I feel like a muffle now.
Yeah. So my brother was just in the kitchen right now. Sent me a thing on his gram of him doing the research into you, and I paused it and had a look at the things you're looking up. Got some stuff.
Got some
Got some
stuff.
stuff.
I did some thorough research.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you lead it today. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just gonna.
I'm just gonna sit there.
Yeah, I think he
I'm
knows
nervous.
now.
I'm nervous. I'm not actually in screen. Can you just check if I'm in screen?
I'll check.
Cut. Am I in screen?
Really?
You're in screen.
Like I feel like I'm. What if I lean back? Just check this one.
You're still good.
Okay,
You
sweet.
got this much room behind you.
Oh, sick. I was nervous. I wasn't in screen.
You were like,
I was like.
Getting really
Well, we
close
did
to
one.
the
We did one. What was the one we did where?
You got choke shoulder.
We did one where I set him up. Murph was in
yeah,
good.
you gotta make sure.
And then I sat there, and half my arm was missing, and then the whole thing was gone. So anyway, so I'm gonna let you lead today.
Let me lead. So I'm going to preface this a little bit. I know very little about soccer or football. Very little about the basketball head. That's just what I do. So when I say some things, don't laugh too much because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to lead straight away with. So you're a forward, right? Now I read two things. You're a forward and you're an attacker. Same thing? Or they're different?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Forward and attack is same thing.
Now, see, to me, a forward in basketball is like 6'8" plus, built big. He's the dominant player on the court because he pushes people around. He's the brute. He can be the brute.
Well, I wish I was that person, but.
Is there any relation to soccer? Is that what a soccer player is like?
No.
Because I mean you're 5'4", right?
Yeah, trust you.
You're a little.
Let's leave it
tougher.
5'5". No, I'm just kidding.
Almost 5'5". So what does a forward look like? Are you like the perfect shape of a forward in soccer, or?
Well, look, striker and forwards.
So
are the
striker's
same-
another name.
No, same name, same
Okay.
word, but it's not like basketball. It doesn't need to be tall or big bodies. Like I think for us, women's soccer is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe men's a forward has to be a little bit taller or bigger.
Yep.
But these days it has changed. It's more common to see short people because they quicker like Messi.
Yep.
You know, he's attacking, he's quick and he's not tall, he's not
Some more agility and speed
exactly.
rather than
That's what they look
brute
for.
build.
Yeah.
More
Because
than be
your
a
back,
big-
your back lines are your
Yeah,
solid
I
players.
think 20
Defense.
years
Defensive, yeah,
Yeah.
defensive lines.
20 years ago it used to be like that, like a forward or attacker or number 9, big number 9, tall, who used to
Who's a
hold the ball.
famous number 9? Ronaldo's a number 9.
Yeah, Ronaldo, but
I'll let you guys
Ronaldo is
make
very skillful guy.
Yeah.
So he's the number 9,
Mhm.
like in the area, shooting, strong, holding the ball.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the type that they used to now. Yeah, it's more open to any type of player, like short,
Okay.
if
Short,
you're
big,
good,
tall, doesn't
and
matter.
if you're athletic, and if you are have the agility part and you're skillful, yeah.
And that's my next question. What are the physical attributes for your position? Obviously, you don't need to be tall.
It's
So what else?
Very technique players.
Yep.
Skillful. That's like I have seen in some teams having this tall, you know, athletes, and you look at them and say, wow, you know, long legs, strong. But if they can't even pass the ball, what's the point of them to what's the point of them to play forward? Because forward is the last person who you give the ball to attack or score. So you gotta be able to create.
Yep.
Or create the opportunity to score a goal, or to turn, to dribble and shoot and score. So if you don't have that, for more than you tall, strong, athlete, pretty, handsome, whatever.
Very important.
Speaking of, you look lovely today.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're almost the last line of offense. So they'll bring the ball down, they're going to go, we're going to give it to Cote because she's the one that's typically going to score the goal.
Forwards, exactly. That's supposed to be the last person who you give the ball to
Yep.
score. But
Of
you
course,
also
doesn't
can
always work that
create.
way.
Yeah, you
But
can
you're the
have-
first person they look at. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah, forwards.
Very good. Now, looking into your stats, especially in the UTSA.
Murph's got notes up. Murph took notes.
So when I look this direction, I'm looking at my
Looking at
computer.
the notes.
At notes. I don't have Josh's memory.
He's like computer.
Yeah, that's me.
This
Yeah.
photographic memory, I don't have that luxury, so I have notes in front of me. So UTSA Roadrunners
Yeah.
in San Antonio. Okay, what does UTSA stand for everyone else out there?
So UTSA, I went to college there. My university was Division 1, but it was great because we were professional athletes, and it's not just playing every weekend. It was more than that. They create athletes. They educate people, players. So for me, it was very important. I think to grow up as a player, as an athlete, because I have skill. I'm very skillful and I'm a technique player. But maybe coming from Chile, where we're 20 years behind United States, it was hard for me to develop that part. So going to United States, it did help me to build the athlete part by working out. They were educating me to the next step, which was my professional soccer career.
So you say you're 20 years, or Chileans are 20 years behind the States. I always see on movies on TV that Chileans are like running around the streets kicking a soccer ball. So is it like physically behind, or obviously not skillfully, right?
No, I think it's not about skills. We do have skills, but we don't have programs.
Okay.
Like United States, everywhere, they develop players from 5 years old because they have the money. Unfortunately, we're behind because we're still in a country where the gender is important. Like men's used to run the football and only men's play. But today's it says it's changing. Like women also play, and we have, showed them also by qualifying for the World Cup and things like that. So it's changing a little bit,
Yep.
but it's not there yet. We I think we have still 10 or 15 years more because the develop is very different, and it's because of money. It's because big country United States, how many players they have?
Yep.
So many. They can pick anywhere. So for them, they compete. I used to be there and coaching kids, and their moms used to say, I want my kid to go to the Olympics. 5 years old. I want them, prepare them to the Olympics. Big words, but that's how they think.
Mm-hmm.
And people put money into that, like the whole country is into sports, and it's just different. And I hope, of course, one day Chile gets like that, but I think it's slowly increasing. We still have like 15 years, maybe 20.
How do you find it's gone now? We're going deep real quick. We haven't even gone background just yet. But how do you feel it's gone now? Then since qualifying for the World Cup and the 3 to 4 years prior to that, what happened in the federation over there? Like building up towards that. How do you find it's gone?
Look, they have even changed their mind. Some of them is like, wow, women can do it too, because it's
Girls can play soccer
always,
as well.
yeah, it's like different mentality.
Yeah.
But we have shown them that it's more than just soccer, or it's more than that. It's a game that you also teach other players, you encourage them to play and to develop not just values. So of course the federation now is changing. They support us a lot. Not like the Matildas here, but I think we're getting there. We're trying to increase the gap between men's. So if men make this, or men's are making not the money, I would say if they getting 10 pair of shoes, for example, we asking at least for half, things like that. It should be the same. If you are giving to soccer team, men's team, 2 pairs of shoes, it should be the same for women's. That's what we're trying to do, to make that equal. But it's still hard because, as I said, money, and because they are not focused or concentrate to develop and do marketing only for women's. I think we need that. We need people who work only for that, and not just for men's and women together. I think it would be separate.
Because you think there's still a bias towards the men in the market?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did mention something. We haven't really done much background yet.
We've done much background.
No,
We dove deep.
I got excited by the start.
Murph got excited.
I wanted to get into it. Otherwise,
There's a lot of notes. Should we go through a bit of background?
let's do a bit of a background.
So I'll start with. I'm getting emotional. No, I'm kidding. So I met Cote 4 years ago. We worked this out 4 years ago. She came in to play in the WMPL, which is our Premier League, one below W League for women. And I remember meeting you for the first time. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
In the boardroom?
Yeah, I do.
And I was like, this chick is angry. So I was sitting there I was coming as a S&C coach for the team, and it was like a whole bunch of people there. And they brought Cote in, and coaches were there and stuff, and she was over there. We introduced, and I was like, hi, and she was like, hola.
Who are you?
Yeah, so I was like, full standoffish, and I was like, okay, alright, you do you, I'll do me. And so we kept talking and stuff, and then, was it then? Oh, it was a sort of facilitator to like come and chat to Josh about training while you're here, do stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I started to realise like where she'd done and what she'd been doing. I was like, okay, she needs more high level training, what she's going to get at any club here. And that's where I was like, hey, look, come and see me, message me, whatever. I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect the text. I was like, not this guy, whatever. Anyway, the next day, I think you messaged me.
Yeah.
I said, hey, like, I'll catch up, whatever you're saying. I kind of went from there. So that's where I met her. But there's an entire history before then.
You didn't think that I would text you back.
I didn't think.
So why did you?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Obviously, Josh thinks you're angry at him the very first time you met. So what was the? Why did you go?
I do look. I think I look like a mean person,
You got
but
ugly,
I'm not.
Have you got RBF?
No.
Resting bitch face.
I think I don't know, like I'm nice.
It was a
I
different,
don't know.
like it was, you're right, it was lovely. Only one that's lovely, but I think it was more, it wasn't like the situation, but it was cool. It was like a.
Well, I didn't know him.
Yeah.
We met and it was, well, first you try like, you don't know someone and just like trying to lose. Like I have to really get comfortable to really talk or maybe like, let's go crazy.
Yeah.
So you're analysing him, sitting back,
Oh.
looking on.
Just watching.
Can I trust
Just
you?
watching.
Breaking him down.
Like, right, no.
Because it was a team discussion. So it was all the like I said, coaches, facilitators, type of stuff, whatever, was everyone was there. And so it wasn't the kind of environment where you could be like, hey, have a chat, whatever. It was more like, I'm in my role, you're on your role.
It was a business
It was a
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
straight business, and I was
Yeah.
like, just go break me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So why did you call him?
Professional. That I was being professional. So I think that's why my face looks like that.
That was your professional face.
Let's go professional. Right?
Yeah.
So why did you call him the next day? Why did you contact him?
I don't remember, but of course we were going to work together.
Mhm.
I saw when we met. He told me what he does, and his plan for me looked very professional. I was coming from the United States, of course, and I know how they work over there, or how I used to work, and we're coming from Germany too. So when he was showing me and look, this is what I do. For me, it's like this is what I'm looking for. You know, it's the most professional thing that I have found in Adelaide.
Mhm.
So I said, yeah, like let's work together.
No, I'm intrigued. What did you do? How did you convert a professional soccer player coming from Chile, coming from Germany as well?
Playing Bundesliga.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That was after.
Yeah,
I love it. It's like the
Coming from the
highlight.
States.
Oh, the Bundesliga. No, sorry, that's Germany. Yeah,
Bundesliga,
I was coming
yeah.
from the.
Coming from the States, and now she's sitting in front of you. How did you sell it?
First of all, when she was giving me a resting bitch face, I was like, I'm a mirror, I'm gonna give it back. Right? That's just sit like
Pure
that.
sales.
No, so the way I thought about it is that, okay, well, at this point in time, I had a whole bunch of knowledge and a whole bunch of like systems and things that I felt people needed, particularly the women, right? So, and it was through talking to Cote more, learning what she's experienced overseas, and this is afterwards, that I was like, cool, well, I can start pushing that more. But at that point in time, I was like, okay, well, professional athlete having, I think it was like 4 countries at the point in time, or whatever, she'd done all of the season. I was like, well, I can provide that. Like, I can provide, not to the same extent in terms of financial, but I can provide the training, I can provide the recovery, I can provide the education, the ideas, everything that I think should be for this league. That I knew no one could compete with. No one could offer what I could offer because I own my own facility, I run my own schedule, everything was mine, and I could invest as much time or as little time as I needed to. And I thought, well, it's very rare an opportunity comes up where someone of this caliber in whatever sport it may be comes and says, hey, look, I'm keen to work with you, whatever. And so you take that and you run with it. And so I can't remember what I put down in the plan. It was basically like, it was a pre-season, then yearly plan. Here's what the pre-season plan is going to be with the team. She'll play with the team. Here's what the team plan is going to be. Here's how what I would do with you one-on-one outside that would fit in. And we looked at a 4 days per week in the gym, looking at strength training, power, prehab, like the whole, that kind of work. And here's what that would look like, and then here's how that would go throughout the season, and then here's how I would like schedule. I basically ran through like some undulated models and providing that to give her here's what I can do, and here's how it would look to you if we went ahead with it. And that's pretty much what I did, like a seasonal plan. And then I also said, don't pay me, it's fine. So there was like, hey Mitchie boy, okay. No, but it was like for me, I see that as an opportunity. You're not gonna say to that person, oh, you're gonna pay me. Like, fuck that. At the end of the day, the money that you could get from those sessions means little compared to the experience that I'll get, the experience that she would get,
and the doors
the doors that then open. Not that you're going into it with doors. Like for me, it was more, okay, well, she's the most like experienced and because I'm a professional, because I didn't know as a professional then, but she's the most experienced and well-traveled athlete that I had on my roster at that time. And so I was kind of like, all right, well, what can I provide her? Turn it off. Snooze it. Like, what would I then give someone of this caliber? Knowing what I know at the moment and how I then treat them that way. And so then from that, what helps me go is that Cote's very communicative, and so she'll say if something doesn't like something, needs to change. She's very in tune with her body.
Outspoken.
Now, and so the feedback that I then get helps me adjust my systems for my other players, of any other teams that come on board. And so then it's not just all of a sudden you've got this player you're just working with. It's like I'm growing far greater than any way she's going to grow, and then we grow together.
So Cote is your Mitch Creek.
Cote's my Mitch Creek.
You got no idea
Let's
what I'm
say-
talking
I
about.
was just like, yes,
Yeah,
boss
let's do
that.
it. Yeah. But no, like we were working together, but he's the type of coach that you look in not just in the quality of training, but knowing he wants to know athletes. He wants to know more than I give you this program, So for me, that I'm professional, it's very important to have someone that really knows what I'm doing in my body and my loads and how I'm going emotional with my training. As you said, I was very honest, like, look, I feel like this. Okay, let's do that. What are you looking for? And I was just telling he was giving me what I needed to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what every athlete needs, I think. So it was great, and then we got to know more each other, and sometimes like I'm sore, I just don't want to work out. Cote, get there.
Yeah.
Okay, it changed your mood and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
it's
So Josh really started to hone in and understand who Cote is, not just the athlete you are, but who you are as a person as well.
Mhm.
Did you find that was a lot easier to then trust him?
Yes.
Well, no matter what he said at that point, you would do it because
Yes.
you knew that he had the best interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you get to know.
You give that one more ring off.
We'll have a quick cut.
Okay. Yeah. I think when you get to know your coach better and you working, or now I know him for 4 years, is trusting, like how you feeling? Yeah, I feel like this, and okay, we're doing this today. I trust it and I do it, and I think I'm that type that I will. If I don't trust the person, I don't think so. You can work out at that, So he also saw that, I think, and for me, and that's why we work together so well, because the trusting, like, Cote, I give you this program, believe me, you're gonna be powerful, for example. And I felt it, like he didn't even have to say it. I had to tell.
I think my program.
I had to tell him
Cote.
my feedback. Exactly.
Yeah.
My feedback to him, like, oh man, I'm feeling so good, or coming back with the national team. Big difference with my power, running, and strength that I had at that moment when I was working out, doing my program. So he was just like, oh no, that's good, okay. So I'm very happy, I think, both of us working together.
Very good. Just sunk in from there.
Something from there.
Yeah.
We were just talking about why you were here, right? And not why you were here, how you came on board with myself and programming and stuff. And so one of the things that I saw back at that time was that with the programs that were being provided to women's teams. So I knew a few people that had played in and around W League or like Premier League clubs or around those sort of traps. And what I saw was that, okay, these programs are lackluster at best. And I was like, well, here's an opportunity to find out what it's like internationally. Okay, what are they doing in America? What are they doing in Germany? What are they doing in, not that Chile was a high level, but what are they doing in Chile? What are they doing out there that I can then take and bring on board and then help people with? And talking to Cote, the stuff that they provided, women at that level, was stuff I could provide. Like, I wasn't like, I need, there was there was testing and there was training and whatnot, but I can do that.
Yeah.
And so then I started to get this idea that, now I can start to provide an international standard training environment for the local players and for players that come here. And that's always been my vision, is that I can better an entire league by going, here's what you're going to get. Top class education, top class training, a minimal cost, as much as I can do, to provide that level that everyone can then aspire to. You're not going to come in and I'm going to give you some bullshit fucking cardio workout, some bullshit CrossFit, some of that shit there, right? Like, you got to get proper training.
That made me so happy to hear you say
I know, I can see it in your eyes, but like, you're not going to get that shit from here, which you're going to get elsewhere. And it was people weren't putting in the investment in those programs, what you were saying. People weren't investing in those programs, and I was like, you know what? Like, there's this huge. It's not. I didn't even say it wasn't a gaping market. It was a gaping hole in why? Like, why aren't you providing this stuff? People can do it. And what I saw when I started doing my research into it is that what S&C coaches will be doing is they will be going to women's teams purely to get that slingshot forwards into men's teams.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I was like, you know what? What's happening is that you're getting kind of jumped, and then we're going to go here. I'll do this for a year, then I'll go there.
It's a stepping stone.
It's a stepping stone rather than an investment, and seeing that.
So, I don't think I'm going to move away from you just a little bit.
That's all good. Okay.
Why did you stay? I don't know if you even stayed or just decided this is where you are. Why did you stay in female sport? Because it is less money, it is less popular. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get as much recognition. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I'm one of the bad ones that went, I'm going to go to male sport. Probably because I just knew men better.
No, don't say it's not a bad one, right? But it's not a bad one who does that, right? It was just they were kind of getting look at the physical attributes. Women are typically less strong. They were typically not the wrong way, but like they're typically weaker, not as powerful, not as able to do stuff as guys are able to do in general from a physiological aspect. So what tends to happen is that the S&C coach in particular will be like, I want to get like max power, max power, like, no, I'm going to focus on the men.
Yeah.
And so it's not inherently bad, so they're just kind of getting bypassed. And I was like, you know what, like, women are just as capable. You know, you push them in different ways. You have to train yourself to be a different kind of thinker. Like, as a male talking to females, it's very different from a male talking to males.
Yeah.
The training is almost exactly the same. And I was like, you know what, like, the reason I sort of stayed there is that yes, there is no money, but I was like, how can I make it work for everyone? How can I continue my business? How can I then better not just one player, not just one team, but an entire league, and be a forerunner for women's sport? You know, because if there's a huge hole here, no one's going to step in and say, I'll take an international player. I'll take an international player. You know, because the growth that I'm going to get then as a person is going to be far greater than anything anyone else is going to get. You know, and then if someone comes to me and say, 2 years on the track, it's been like, oh, you know, you ever worked with someone of international caliber? I'm like, fuck yeah, I have. You know, I've got that experience and I can talk on that level now, and I can see this whole, here's where things need to be. And here's what advice I can provide. I don't care if you're international female, international male, international anything, right? If you've had that experience is invaluable.
Yeah.
Is invaluable. And so the reason I stayed there is because no one else was staying there. So I'll stay here and I'll help every single one person I can to do this and come in and here's what I can offer, here's what I can do, and then I'll use that content and I'll push that out there so every other female can see it, because every athlete that plays a sport at a high level, even at a lower level, but like semi-pro onwards, you need to be ready, you need to be prepared, you need to be robust, you need to be strong. And if you're not prepared, then you've got to break down. And so when the whole thing came out about, injury risk for females for ACL injuries like 9 times out of men, I was like, if they don't train.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't train.
Yeah.
So why not be that person that's going to be like, well, look, I can provide that if it buys for us. And so pushing out proper education, like high-level education, using the people that are available to me and they're screaming out for this, like, I need training, what am I going to get, We're just going to go to like F45 down the road, or you're just going to go to like CrossFit or a 24-hour gym or whatever and just do whatever that program is provided to you, or do you want something that's a lot more tailored to you as an athlete for your sport where you're going to care? You know, and so as I started getting into it, it just became like rolling things. So Cote came on board, and then like Chids came on board, and Quigs came on board, and Condon came on board, and all these, it just started to roll from there. You know, because people were saying, oh shit, like, she looks stronger, or she's more powerful, or she hasn't had as many injuries this year. What's going on? You ask that question, and all of a sudden, oh, hang on, the light switch goes off, and then things start to roll from there. You know, and then what I see is interesting now is that other trainers now saying, oh yeah, we do women's sport as well. Like, you can thank me for that. Thanks. You know what I mean? Like, but it was never on anyone's radar. It was always a jump through. Like, fuck that, I'll stay here and make it work.
Yeah.
And that's always been my focus. Because at the end of the day, like I said, if I can get that experience with someone, hey, what did you do in America? I'll take some of that, put it here. What did you do in Germany? I'll take some of that, do it here. The way you treat a international or a national or someone wanting to get there is a very different way you treat someone who's just like, oh yeah, what else? Your regular clientele who just wants some like weight loss, whatever, it's a lot less specific, and it's a lot less tailored, and it's a lot less, I say investment energy wise, like training sessions are still training sessions, but for me to then force myself to get to that level was huge. Like, I wasn't at that level at that point in time. I knew what I wanted to do, but then it took a fuck ton more effort to get there.
Yeah.
Does that kind of answer the question? I feel
Yeah.
like
It was a big answer. And I didn't expect anything less from you.
I wasn't sure, but like there was a market there, and they were needing it in the state, and I was like, I'm gonna fill it.
So, I mean, I guess it all boils down to you cared more than just for fame and glory and
Mate.
notification and all that sort of stuff.
Mate.
You wanted to make a change in an area where it
League
needed
wide.
change. Yeah.
League-wide change, and it needed to be because if it was going the way it was going, it'd be still the same injury rates, still the same level of like lackluster sport. You know what I mean? Whereas like now you can start seeing that there's not that I was the first. I was not the first. In the country, whatever. But to push it out on a scale that I tried to do, and I'm still trying to do, to get people knowing stuff was where I saw it. That's where I saw that this shit has to be changed and then go from there. And that's why I was like, where's it got that? Like, I'll train you for free. I'll train you for free, and then I'm taking your knowledge, and you can get what I can provide, and grow together. So that's what I said it to before. Is that
Made a sponsor here.
like I said to you before about how you got all this stuff. Oh, thank you for everything you've done for me. I'm like, what I've done for you is like this big compared to what you've done for me.
Yeah.
In my growth and then what I've learned and how like that was huge. It's huge. You can't buy that type of experience, and you know this.
I get it.
Mm.
I get it. What was I going to ask?
Yeah.
Your answer went. It was huge. Still going with something. That's what I was going to ask. I've got it. So obviously you've born in Chile. You played soccer in Chile as a professional, and you were the one. I don't know if you were the one, but you were a part of the one that got Chile to the World Cup the first time ever.
Yes.
Now, were you the one? Because you scored 2 goals in that game.
I scored the goal where it helped my team to qualify. Well, we were like against Uruguay, 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
80 minutes.
I'm getting tingles already.
81 minutes.
There's 90-minute games, right?
Yes.
Okay.
9 to go. If we would have drawn that game, we were out. Even
They
if
had to win.
if we win the next one. If
Yeah,
it
right.
was 0-0, we were out. Like no chance for us to qualify. So put it like that. Like that game, you gotta win or win. Doesn't matter if it's 1-1, 0-0. It's win or nothing.
Yeah.
So it was 81, and yeah, I got the goal. Lucky.
Lucky.
No, I was like,
It was.
I mean, you always want to score, but
it was
yeah,
it was your non-preferred foot.
it was left.
Lefty.
Run us through. Give me the tingles again.
Talk me
So
through
So
this
I was
process.
always like, I remember that game perfectly. Like I don't have good memory, but that game, it's here. Like I would never
Stuck in there,
forget. And I do remember even the sunset. Imagine like playing and like, oh, look at the sunset. The sunset was amazing that night. Orange, red. It was just like getting that red, and I was just like, wow. So I was playing. I never lost. I never lose the calm. I was very calm. I was like playing hard, but I don't remember being desperate mentally. Like we gotta score. We gotta keep going. I was calm. The time, because I play wing, so my coach swapped me. I play right, he swapped me to the left.
So you're a forward wing.
Yes.
Okay.
A striker. I play that has a number 7. Number 7 is the right forward.
Mm-hmm.
Runs the whole pitch really.
Okay.
So he said, Cote, swap. Went to the left. And the moment I'm playing with my other teammate, she said, Cote, she had 2 and I was helping her. I remember dropping. And she said, Cote, go up. And I look at her, she has 2. And then she said, don't worry about it. Please go up, like up. And I said, okay, bye. So I'm, let's go up forward, one attack.
And what's the time on the clock now?
Like, that was before I won. It was just like everything was happening. He swapped me there.
Yeah.
And this player was like, go up, we don't have time.
Yeah.
So, of course, the goal was coming. It was like 79, 80 minutes. Before that, I had just missed one because the defender, she stepped on my foot. And it doesn't seem like a foul, but I had it after. I have this big, like I was bleeding because she came behind, and it was not a foul, but she stepped So I fell and I couldn't shoot. And I remember now that I'm watching the replay, the guys who are talking, they say, "Oh, she's just unfortunate, lucky. She just missed that." And I was kind of, if I got the ball in front of the ball. Anyways, next play, coming back, and the other player on the right, she's running with the ball, and she all the way to the right, she crossed the ball into the middle, and I'm coming from behind with two defenders running to get that ball. I don't know how. The ball is coming just like that. And I'm looking that ball. I remember running and hitting at first touch. Second post.
Second post.
With
Back
my
to like
left.
how like the ball's
So
come
I'm
in,
coming from the
and it's
left
gone back that way.
and going back I crossed it to the keeper. I remember the keeper was coming. So she was trying to make sure, like trying to save that ball, coming close to me. And I said, I think I even closed my eyes.
I'm pretty sure you looked at her and you're like, no.
So I have in my mind exactly her picture. She's coming to get the ball. And I said, thinking that I didn't have space, but now that I see the replay, I did. Thinking that she's coming, she's very close to me. So I said, I must hit it first touch. And that's when I was just like, and I placed it like with my inside of my foot. And I looked at the ball. I didn't celebrate because that ball went straight to the post. Post and then in.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, at that moment I was about to die. I was like so many emotions, like so much inside that I was just like celebrate. I usually jumped and celebrate and I get very excited. But with this goal, I was super calm. I was like, finally, but calm. Like after that, of course, you just like, you contain, you're trying to hold so much during the game. When that game finished, I was just like,
right.
yeah, I got the player of the game.
Wow.
So when they were interviewing me, it was hard because they were talking, everyone, it was 18,500 people in the stadium.
So how much is 14,000 people?
So it was bad.
How much? And okay,
And I remember
it's about 40, I think.
after that, that's all that you ask. My whole life, when I was little, playing on the streets, dreaming to play full stadium and being the one scoring the winning goal.
That's a childhood dream, right?
It's a child dream. And after that, beep, whistle, final whistle, I just went like, I just wanted to cry.
Did you?
I did.
As you should.
How much? Carly told me how much.
A lot, like, so much. These kids come from the from the
Crowd?
the crowd,
Yeah.
jump the fence, and he said, "Oh, selfie." And I couldn't stop. Fine, I was like, "Selfie, okay." And then they interview Cote. What a moment! This is the lady. She said, "I can't stop either." She was crying. I was like, "I can't explain how I feel." So I had to take a recovery next day because emotional, like the whole team.
Yeah.
The whole team was just like, I think that's been one of the most emotional games that I have had.
Have you got any? Did you get the game ball? Did you get anything to remember the game? Or was it just all up
I
there?
should know, it's all there.
All up
I
there.
had
What happened afterwards?
after.
Keep talking. Just what happened after
Yeah,
that?
well, the interview, they gave me, of course, this prize, a bag, the winner, and I just couldn't talk, of course, and I was in the news next day, newspapers, it's fun, I got the character of the day from a newspaper, so
Yeah.
like the whole page is, she just
What was your
got the
pose?
goal.
What was your pose? In the paper.
I don't know where they get that photo, but they just get a
What
photo.
was it? Show me your pose.
I will show you, but
Come
no,
on,
I
right now.
no, it was I think it's just like it's laugh, I don't know, smiling. I don't remember, but like everywhere, and you get, of course, the tournament didn't finish there, but it was a huge step because next game was Peru, and we won 5-0. But
Wow.
without the goal.
So-
Without the game, winning that game, we knew Peru, we can do it. We
Yeah.
knew that because we have won against them before.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter, like at that moment, if we didn't win that game, we were out. No matter if we would have scored 10 against Peru.
So if you lost to Peru, you're still in?
Yeah.
Just as long as you
Draw, yeah.
Yeah.
A draw or a win against Peru.
Yep.
But the games are ranked, so obviously when you win, you get 3 points.
Points, yeah.
Draw, you get 1 point. So
Yeah.
they needed those full 3 points to then get to second place to qualify.
If you did lose to Peru though, were you still in the World Cup?
Depends the other teams
Yeah,
losing
so
or
there's
winning.
other things.
Yeah. So that
It's the
then
points.
involved a lot more background stuff. But this one they had to win because they had a pretty good chance they're going to beat Peru, right? So they had to win this one guaranteed to then.
But I think
alleviate some
even
pressure from this
losing,
game.
yeah, I think even losing against
Okay.
Peru, even
There's
again,
still a chance.
it's still a chance. So it's pretty amazing. You know.
But didn't
Yeah.
you get invited to or get to meet the president of Chile?
Yeah, we did. That was fun because qualified to the World Cup first time. You know, big deal. The good thing here, it was home. It was a home. It was in Chile. So of course the media was crazy because something to sell out there, you know. Anyways, we won, went to dinner, and next day we had to fly to Chile, back to Santiago, which is the capital, meet the president. The president was there waiting for us. Welcome, you know. Photo, like they had like a girl singing for us, and he was talking. It was great. It was great, good experience. Really, you know, things that it's so rewarding. Like you look back and say, I have worked so much for this that maybe not even money can make me.
Yeah.
You know, make
Money
me
can't
to
buy
do.
experience.
You can't buy that. You
No,
can't.
you really can't.
And then you look back and say, so many people told me, do this, or change, or quit, or why are you doing that? And many times I look really stupid by training because I was training by my own. But you know what? I don't care. Look, I'm training. And then people were like, wow, she's very driven. And, you know, training. Until that happened, people were like, wow. You know, and now they say, like, I had to, you know, well, I went to Japan, that's different. But now that I'm coming back, people look at you and they really, wow, you're doing amazing. Like,
But everything just made sense when that happened.
Exactly.
They understood why you put all those
they
hours
understood.
in.
But before, they know. Like, I'm doing now, she's doing it. That's cute. I don't know what people think.
That's
but
Cote just doing Cote.
exactly,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And then it's not easy just to go out there and just run by yourself.
How many?
No.
Give me a sec. How many? What are we on? 5 minutes. We'll put 5 minutes on it. How many hours, or how many hours would you put in outside of what everyone sees? So people want to see you at training.
Yeah.
You know, 3 hours a week or 3 days a week, or maybe. How often are you out doing other stuff?
Here, besides training,
Everything.
I put extra easy 3 hours.
A day?
Yeah, like
On top of training.
on top of training.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So training, what's a normal training time?
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
And
Depends.
every day on top of that, 3
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
That's commitment. You want to be the
And
best.
you know, I'm just saying 3. No, not saying that I have to drive to the place, go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
set up everything.
And some days might be 2, some days might
exactly,
be 4.
you know, and
yeah.
exactly spending all the time. But training, yeah, that's what I used to do.
And this is what's required at an international level, right? And it's the same with cheats and content and whatever, and anyone who does want to try and make or push teams, they will be the same. You know, maybe not to that level, they do 2 hours a day extra or an hour a day extra, but every touch on a ball counts.
Exactly.
Every
You gotta
single touch
you
counts.
gotta do what I don't know what's the same, but what no one is doing.
Yeah.
You gotta do that or make the difference by doing something else, because if you look the rest, everyone is here and doing the same thing. But if you do something extra, something different, it has to work. So that's me personally. Maybe other people, for them work, or players, they work only for the team, and that's fine. But I'm always pushing myself, and I'm always, I like to perform, and I like to be, I don't want to say the best, but I like to really
You can
be
say the
able,
best.
You can do
You
that.
can say the
really be able to help my team.
Yeah.
And it's all about not just be driven, but also be able and fit and ready to any situation. Because now that he's saying high level is totally different. High level athlete is just you have no time really or life, but that's the sacrifice, I guess, and then you have all the rewards.
There's so many segues that I could have pushed off to in what you just said, but the one I'm going to pick right now.
I reckon
we're going to do it after this break.
After this
Okay.
break, right now.
And I was just saying to Cote, I was in Utah, and I got to experience some of the NBA over there. And walking through their stadium, and obviously I relate to basketball, but walking through their stadium is just, your jaw is dropped every corner because there's amazing facilities and how much money they put into their team and their performance and their looking after their players. And you come back here and you're just like, come on,
You really
But-
do nice bars.
Exactly. And I was telling him only the mentality to think that, she can, that's what I heard, she can make more than I'm making. So man, that's not gonna be good.
We're talking about
that's not gonna
generational
change.
change though.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the money in sports that they do.
But even I think you guys have, it's just a mentality, as you said.
The thing is that the money comes when people put the time investment in.
yeah.
Time.
Alright?
And
So
the
someone has to
mentality, I think, is
go,
changing.
okay, I'll take it from sort of what we did, right? With our respective athletes. You put time investment in with no immediate return on cost, right? No one's going to pay you to do it, you're just going to do it. If you do it well, then sponsors start coming in, then TV starts coming in, then the money starts coming in. It's not money comes first, then you do that. It's you do that first. You treat it professional first, you treat it like this first, and then that comes. Because as a businessman, I'm not going to invest in something where I see no value right now. If you show me there's value there, then I'll invest in it. And that's what my thing is, right? I'll show you the value in training women, right? I wouldn't be able to have a fucking run a business for the last 13 years. You know what I mean? If you don't put the value in first and then see the bigger picture long term. You can't just yes, you can get your grants and yes, you can get this up and yes, you can get that, but you have to provide the value first and foremost.
Yeah.
And that's not saying women or men, that's just saying sport in general, because at these levels, besides national team, sport is a business, that's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
National team, cool, yeah, that's national team is.
But even with the national team though.
But it's still a business, yes, it's still a business, but it's more, I would say, you're not having a national team, you get your sponsors and stuff, but it's not as much of a business as the lower levels are.
It's more pride of the country.
It's pride of country, that kind of thing,
patriotic thing.
Yeah, it's more of that, if you have NBA or EPL teams, sometimes we'll let their players go play. National team is a guarantee you could play national team, right? But then sometimes when there's friendlies or one man outside a contract, they're like, you know what, you're our investment. We pay you $60 million a year, you're not going to get into a friendly against Peru, So and that's what you got to look at, that's where that comes from. And so it's the initial thing has to be, okay, well, what's the value coming in first and foremost for men and for women? Why do you think A-League numbers are dropping? People don't see value in going to the fucking games because they're shit. Not that they're shit, but they're compared to what they could be. When I see AFL or when I see basketball, when I see fucking lacrosse or whatever putting in some effort and going, we're going to invest first before we can go forward to something different, that's when I'm going to see a game. That's when I'm going to invest in that. Rather than going, I'll invest first and then when you get my money, then you show me something. It doesn't work that way. Nothing works that way. It's exactly the same thing. It's like when you go to, this way I say with the educational side of things, right? People do their 4 years of a degree. They go, I've done this stuff, I deserve something at this point. No, you haven't. You haven't shown any value whatsoever. Yes, you've got some education, but where's your value start? Which is why the experience matters to me more than that qualification, that's something, because you haven't shown value in the market.
But that's how it's in the United States. Before they even finish college, they give them the opportunity to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay, it has a voluntary.
Yeah.
They do so much,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're ready. But that's also the mentality of them to help them, to bring them to
Exactly.
and teach them, so everyone knows what they're doing, and then not only one person. Because what I feel in some countries, people get selfish.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's only me. I wanna do. I wanna know this, but I don't wanna give the opportunity to them to just get my knowledge maybe or what I'm doing or the experience.
Exactly. And I don't want people don't look at that long-term vision.
Exactly, long term.
You know, like if Murph went to Mitch and was like, "You pay me for my sessions that you do to me," Mitch's like, "I'll pay you for sessions, but you know what's going to happen? Mitch can run out of money soon enough. Can't pay anymore."
No, Mitch would have just said no.
Mitch would have just said no, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like the money's going to run out, but experience lasts forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking tweet that. That was that came from a higher of the evening. So we're just talking about your experiences, and you had a segue that you
I
wanted
have
to
a
go with.
segue.
Do you want me to go?
It's already recording.
We record everything. We
Everything is recorded. All I get you to do every maybe 5 or so minutes, just look at it because it's got 30 minutes of recording on there.
Yeah.
So when it gets close to say 23, 24, then we'll cut it. No one else is in the room with us right now. Good stuff, Beth. Cut it. So the segue was.
The segue was, so one of my questions is, how do you prepare for games? How do you stay motivated? How do you keep pushing? And I think I can make that a better question now by, you've pretty much reached the very top of soccer. You've kicked the goal to put your country through to the World Cup for the very first time in your country's history. I don't know too much, other than I guess winning the World Cup now. I don't know too much higher than that. So how do you stay motivated now? Because an athlete is go for the top, go for the top, go for the top. Now that I'm there, now what? So what motivates you? Is it the World Cup win? Is there what else is going on? What gets you up in the morning to go to those extra 3 hours a day of training?
National team.
National
I think
team.
I won't even say World Cup. National team, I think, is my biggest motivation.
So what's the difference? I would have thought of the same thing. So is it
One national team is first of all my team. I train, so I go. My big goals, of course, is be in the World Cup, and not just be there, but get there in my best shape. Be like 100, more than 100. Maybe that's too high expectation, but I've been working for that. So now, as you said, when you hit the top, either players get injured because they can't keep performing because they did more than 100. So they either get injured or they dropped. How they keep up their motivation? I went through that, of course, as every athlete. But
so you had a bit of a, now what?
I had a big year. So after the World Cup, I didn't have the time to celebrate really, to sit and be like, wow, that was huge.
After the qualifiers.
After the qualifiers in April, I had to go back to Japan and switch off or switch on to my competition and keep playing. While other players, maybe they had a break until they started the season. So for me, it was a little bit tough to keep going in what aspect. I was tired. 7 games, we had 7 games, and then coming back to Japan, doing right after fitness. So you start thinking, what is next? And then your goals and my motivation at that point was always keep scoring, keep for the next, let's say, FIFA date. Was in Chile, okay. So I have this next. How I want to be, how I'm going to perform. So always thinking that I have something next, maintain, and then they help me to keep going. But it's what I love, and I rather do soccer than I guess be working all day or something else.
Don't want a 9 to 5 job.
Don't want another 5.
So for me, this is more than my job. It's something that I love and I grew up with. Of course, I need to get better, and it's hard to train so hard every day, like to get up. Sometimes you want to have a life, you want to just rest, you want to have relaxing time, you want to eat everything. But when you have it, like I already had a break, like now a little break, and I'm already like switching on again. Like I'm so queen again to, I want to feel great again. I'm ready to train. I'm looking forward for my next FIFA date. Things like I'm so driven that my motivation come from there. Like how I motivate myself every day is thinking that I have my national team. I have next FIFA date. I really want to keep scoring. For me, it wasn't enough qualifying. It was something to get me to the World Cup, to prove people maybe, to say, wow, she works so hard, and look where she is. And so for me, all of that things and the recognition of people, the recognition of my country, my coaches, my family, it's important. But I think more than that is how you feel by doing that work. I mean, everyone, you guys out there too, and after training, how you feel like, great, I did it, like, yes, you feel that you have achieved something. Now that I'm coming back, it's of course not easy because, again, you love to be by the beach every day and, enjoying it. But I would say my motivation is, national team, every single step to go to the World Cup.
In the World Cup, that's your next thing.
We gotta go step by step,
How many games in the World Cup? Because there's pools, right?
Yes, so we have 2 rounds. We play 3 games first, and then if we got top 2, so there's 4 in one group, top 2 go to the second round. So, for me it would be great if we go out to the next round and then try to do the best. I mean, everyone wants to be champions. I want to be a champion, world champions, but it's something that...
Cote wins the World Cup with Chile, I'm retiring.
I retired, I quit.
I'm done.
I'm done.
He's done too.
I'm
Okay.
done.
Are you done?
I'm going to keep working.
We're going to keep working, but...
I can't really ride your coat.
I'm done. I am riding the shit out of the coattails if that happens.
That would be amazing. Something
Mm.
that, The same with the Copa America.
Dude.
Who would have thought we were training for that and always training for Copa America, here we are, and people were like, okay, this is crazy or whatever. And then we did it. And people were like, oh wow, things that you don't expect can happen, but not because luck, not because because you gotta work for it, you gotta plan. So, of course, motivation is the main thing, but you gotta love what you do, I guess.
Even if you don't get paid for it, you'd still be doing it, right?
I did it for long, man. In Chile, when I started playing, I didn't make money. I didn't. People, it's not easy for an athlete female to be a soccer player. It's hard. I didn't make anything more than the happiness, this is great. Scoring goals make me happy, I guess.
Hang on, segue. You take it. No, you take the segue.
No, yours seems pretty important.
No, mine's not, trust me, mine's not important. You segue, you got this one.
You just said scoring makes you happy.
Yeah.
I think I was reading it, I think it was on the American Cup. What did you call it before? Copa America?
Copa America.
Yeah.
Espanol.
So, there you go. I was reading it and you got a heap of assists and a heap of scores. You say scoring makes you happier. More than assisting? Because in basketball, a good assist is celebrated just as much as a good score. Sometimes even more so.
Yeah.
In soccer the same, or is it more the scorers like?
Well, I'm talking when I started before, when I was younger kid. Everyone likes to score. I want to score it, but when you're starting growing up or high level, for me now I create a lot because part of my job it is assist to my teammates.
Yep.
So I don't mind if I'm the one. If I'm in front and I have to pass back and she scored, I'm happy.
That's all well and good, but what do you prefer?
Oh, scoring.
Do you prefer to put it
Yeah.
foot to the
I do prefer scoring. Of course.
So you're a shoot first kind of player.
Yeah.
Nice.
On that note, then, Ella segue. I've seen so many past
so many
segue the shit out of this. So you recently came back from Canberra, playing in W League.
Yeah.
Scored in W League. Right?
I think it's score. Yeah.
So now, how
you're still a forward in the W League?
Yeah.
Same position?
Forward.
Yeah.
Short.
I've actually got in here, I didn't bring up before.
Sure.
I've gotten
5'1".
5'4",
Yeah.
or as high as DJ's waist.
I'll get that photo as well. I'll get that photo.
I'll put a photo up now
Put
so
a
we
photo
can
so you can see the photo. So the W League, how many continents or how many countries have you scored in now? Different leagues. Bundesliga?
Oh, yeah, Bundesliga, Germany, US, Japan, Lithuania,
Worldwide sport.
champions.
Yeah, I dabbed. Fuck that.
So yeah, many countries.
Is that something you can brag about? Is that like a common thing where players will go, you know, I've scored in 6 different countries? Or
I've
like,
scored in one country.
Yeah.
So my
I've
goal,
scored in 2.
He's 22. He's 22.
my goal is to play in every single continent. So at the moment I'm just missing one,
Yep.
but that would be a thing when I
Which one?
retire. Africa, because Africa is not good soccer, but
They're
maybe
not good at
I would
soccer?
do. No, it's not a big league,
Okay.
and they struggle a little bit. But it's something that I will look maybe in the future when I'm retiring. I don't know. That's my goal.
I got contacts in Kenya if you need.
Kenya. Yeah, why not? With
Okay.
lions and elephants.
So on the WD goal is probably my second most favorite goal I've ever seen.
First
Second.
being
The first one being literally even just before we were talking about your Copa goal, I was getting little tingles and I was like, oh my god! I was replaying it in my head.
I like this story. It was a good story.
It was a very good story. So the WD goal, run us through that one.
Oh, that really. Look, of course.
Was it a
for me-
toe?
No, it's a great strike. You know, strike the ball has never before. People would be surprised. What is that Cote? And I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I've been training for that. That's what I'm training for. You know, to score
Sorry,
goals.
This
What's a toe?
Outside of the box, outside of the box.
Yeah.
You know, players would come in, defenders, I don't know, they gosh, everyone, I saw everyone coming. So look up, why not?
Chick.
Straight to the angle, like, ching, that's like
In the top corner.
Hit the spiders.
top corner.
Spiders.
Yeah, in the top corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to you in the gym. We're gonna
Oh, that's pretty funny though. Like that was like, yeah, you know. Like,
So you toe the ball.
No, so I tell you, it is when you just like stab at the ball with your foot and it can go fucking anywhere.
Yeah, okay. And that's how you kick it.
but I did strike.
Oh,
You can see it. It's very funny.
But it was great.
that's how I would kick a soccer ball.
Yeah,
It's
Straight
though.
foot.
straight foot.
You
Just
have to see the goal. Like you have to watch it.
I'll show
It's
the
Good
replay.
goal.
Yeah.
Good goal. And plus, I get Spurs. You know, good team.
Yep.
Good team.
So it's
So
good to score against a good team.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Especially
always
Perth.
good.
another segue. Found it. So I like this. You're getting it in there. So with okay, W League, Bundesliga, Japan, USA,
Champions League.
Champions League in Lithuania. Right. I don't want to talk about Champions League, but I want to talk about the training aspects of each.
Okay.
How you find each one compares to each other. So what are you getting in Japan that you might not be getting in USA, that you're not getting in Germany? You know.
Exactly.
So-
Look, I wish
Good question.
that's
You did it.
I did.
That's a good
I pulled it
I
in.
was coming into
I
it
pulled
at
it
some
in
point, but you...
and I shot it out.
no. Look, I wish I could. Now, of course, I'm adding all of those elements. But if one country can do what all of them are doing, would be great. Because I think all of them do something good and great. You know, Germany is top 5, top 6, and then Japan. You know, it's also in a good place in ranking FIFA. So all of them culturally works different. Japan work longer, but it's very intense. The play has a
They
machine.
work longer and it's more intense.
Exactly.
Do they like, as many days back to back, or they? Like,
Yeah. Well, it would be always in most of the places that I've been, one day off.
One
Usually
on,
Tuesday.
one off, one on, one off, or
No,
is it
no, one
over
week.
a week?
One
Yeah,
per
okay.
week. Only once. Yeah. So intensity, I would say United States was really tough. Was great though because they taught me how to be an athlete. Germany, I think they had more technique than United States, but also they're very physical and they're very strong. So I'm adding, you know, like in United States, an athlete is strong, power. They moved to Germany, a little bit of more technique, more football. And then going to Japan, everything was together. Like they may not be that strong, but they're very technique and they work every single detail. So they make you work until you get it. So every single country that I've been is something that I try to remember what they do. So I add to myself and I try also to train every single aspect. But yeah, I mean, I would say all of them are different with the same concept.
And what about here in Australia?
Australia W League Canberra was great. Like I think they high level training. I was very happy, and they were also before I went to play against Matildas. Getting ready for that, and the intensity of football is really good. They do. They have a day of workout program. Recovery is really good. They manage really well your load. So no, it's very good. If I talk about W League Canberra, specifically Canberra, really good training, high intensity. Japan a little bit more, I think longer. I don't know if that is efficient.
Efficient?
Efficient.
No,
But they do work a lot, and they also have the results. I have my teammate. She just won the World Cup on the 20 in Spain, so she's champion, and she's 19 years old.
Wow.
Coming back, and she tried to be like no one, because Japanese are like that. They don't try to be. I just want the World Cup, we would be like, just
I'm retiring.
Exactly. But they try not to be like, no. Congratulations, everyone. And she keeps working. 19 years old, amazing. All the work that they do is proven then. So they related to that and say, wow, she just won the World Cup. We may do something right then, So every country is different, and I don't have a favorite, but I
what about
will.
in terms of environment and climate then?
I think Japanese are a little bit too serious.
Yeah.
They serious when they work, and sometimes can be stressful because when I from Japan coming back to Canberra, so much fun, great culture environment, the locker room music, laughing.
In Canberra.
Yeah, so that reminds me also my team in Chile, also United States.
Yeah.
Because we can have fun, why not? I mean, you're working, but let's get the stress or maybe the what's the name, expectation now, like you relax a little bit before you go into the to perform. But it's fun. Germany, you can do that too. They're a little bit more like Japanese. Even Japanese go 200% faster than German people, but yeah, that would be the difference. So no, fun every country. Look, if I had every single thing of every country, you make up a player. Because
Right. So you thank every country being the player you are now. Every country's had a piece to play
exactly
in the player you are.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And I think the experience that you get, not just by learning or trying to keep those important aspects, but also the experience of playing with other players, because they are not the same like you are. So you look at them and say, wow, she can do that. In Japan, everyone was my size, and they were doing things and she's sure. You look at them, and I'm sure too. So I said, well, I can do it. So it makes you realize and also see and learn so much that experience.
How did you find it then playing Matildas? You played 2 games against Matildas.
Yeah, what happened in the first game? Oh. Sorry, guys.
Being cheeky.
But what
That's
happened
it.
in the second?
That's we're done for
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back next week with another episode without Cote. So we played 2 games. The first game, Chile beat the Australian team.
Sounds like quite a fair bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a fair bit. It was a win. Win's a win. Take a dub, right?
Look, it was a win.
It was a win.
Don't ask me the second game.
The best part was the second game. They got hammered.
Chile did.
No, because we want Australia to
No. Yes, they got beaten. Well, you want us to become.
But we were helping Australia to be part of the,
You were.
draw.
Yes.
We
We
wanted
wanted
to
them
be
to get a
part.
team. Thank you, Chile, for that one. We appreciate that.
That's true.
The best part for me was before we segue into that. The best part for me was when Chile played Australia first game. Chile won. I sent one text message to Cote and the same text message to Chits, and I was like, "What happened?" That's what I said. What happened? I get back. It's like love her eye emoji, looking like celebratory things. We beat Australia. Chits looked back. I don't know what happened. I was like, this is good. This is great.
And it's fun to see like Jeets is part of Matilda's, and then we saying hi each other and talking like about Matilda and about Chile, what we're talking and what they're talking. So it's funny. It's funny when we're talking like, hey, you know, my team is this and my team's that. It's like, we just can't believe it. We just want to go home. We don't want to play the second game. We already won, so let's go home. We were laughing like, we shouldn't play the second one. We were like, we shouldn't.
Father's a thing.
And what is it?
It's cinnamon whiskey. I can't remember the other one.
It is
cinnamon
whiskey.
Yes. It's like is it Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh my god. I've never.
Tennessee. It's a Tennessee.
Yeah. So I'd never had it until my friend started. I always thought, oh, that sounds terrible. I was going to kill me.
Terrible.
It's called Fireball. It's going to fuck me up, right? And so then my friend's 30th.
Is this going to the?
Everything.
Everything is online. We're live now. Everyone's seeing you.
Look at she pretties herself up again.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to do your hair?
No.
You can do your hair. You can do your hair. Now.
I didn't do anything, man. I'm just natural.
I can't. And so tomorrow's 30th. We had the fireball behind the bar. Then I was drinking beers and I was like, fuck it, I'm getting wasted tomorrow anyway. I'm gonna have some fireball. I was prepared for death. And I had one, and I was like, this tastes like heaven. Alright, you smash it, cinnamon, and you know when you drink and you taste it here, and then about 4 seconds later it's like, and you're like, dying. And that never came.
yeah, I'm going to doubt that.
Never. No, honestly, I honestly, it never
You must
came.
be drunk already.
No, because I've done it again since. Okay.
You were drunk then as well.
No, I was not. This is a Sunday afternoon. Casual.
Whatever
Casual
you
Sunday. It's my thing.
Whatever you do. No judgment here. Hashtag
Anyway, say that. So anyway, so he brings out the fireballs with everything. I was like, okay, cool. She goes, oh, but it's okay. You've got to drive. Do you want some of these instead? Goes to the fridge and pulls out as ultra beer. And I was supposed to say ultra Han.
Low alcohol.
No, I didn't see that. I saw ultra, and I was like, ultra beer has to be some fucking crazy beer, all right? And I looked at it and said, yeah, low alcohol.
Zero.
Zero alcohol, and so you taste it, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a try.
Please, zero alcohol.
All right. Beer flavored water, no worries. Happy with that. Had a taste of it. What did it taste like? It was beer without the love. It was fucking. It was.
I think it was expired.
It was.
but-
It was expired as well.
Yeah, it was. I think.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Alright. We can edit this out if we want. We don't know.
We're not going to.
We're not going. Just going in.
Because I don't want to even talk.
No, so we're just talking. I'm gonna cut this like smile on my face. Alright, we're just talking about the Chile Matildas game. First game you won. Second game you lost. Going into that game preparation, so Matildas was 6th in the world. You guys were 39th?
Yeah.
39th in the world. So going into the game, what does your preparation involve as a team? And then for yourself, and then mentality-wise, how do you mentally prepare for something like that?
I think we have played before big teams like United States, but our preparations, our coach is very, very much like don't think too much who they are. It's just do what we've been doing. You know, like I'm not gonna ask you to do something else. We gotta do what we've been working on it. So that's something that I think is very important for every team. You cannot change something or try something new, you know, for because it's Australia. So I think we were very focused. I knew we could win. I knew because, you know, I'm here and I know some of the players. And I said, look, of course they are more athletes, but we are very technique. If we can possess a ball, I'm sure we can score. So I knew it. Like, of course, now that it happened, you kind of like, we won, like, believe it or no. But before I knew we could, I knew I had that feeling and that's why we were there. It's not just another game. Of course, you want to do the best and more than your best. So, yeah, I mean, we won 3-2, and I think they were maybe a little bit confident about what Chile is ranked 39, and yeah.
Where's Matilda's ranked?
They were 6th.
Oh.
They top 6, they
Big
top
upset.
10. So they were not
No, I
happy.
expected.
They were not happy. And even the newspaper say something like with the lowest team, like kind of like we are no one kind of.
Mm.
But that's soccer, that's football. Suppose you never look at teams like that. You always try to they were very respectful, but I think they were a little bit confident that it would be easier, and that would happen in the World Cup too. Teams would go and say, well, look at this team, it's not that good or whatever, but they can't, because one mistake in football is like one mistake can cost a goal, and that what happened, and those mistakes, we just put the ball back in the net. So it was great. It was great feeling. We had a lot of Chilean people. A lot. I saw red tops everywhere. A big crowd on the back of the goal. So after the game, everyone was singing. And another feeling, because they've been here for so long. Many of them don't go back to Chile. So for them to see Chilean people, it's great. It's amazing. They're very into passion, singing. And then even some of my Aussie friends from here, they were just so cool. How you guys sing? Teach me. Because one of them was Chile, Aussie, Aussie. Both have a big poster, Chile and Aussie. So Chilean people, of course, they hear, they respect a lot of Australian, they love it. But also for Australia, it was very fun to see all of that. So it was a great environment, great game. Of course, something that we won't forget, because Matildas are really good. They six, as he said, and they're very athletic. They're a great team, and they have much more than we do. We have nothing in compared to them.
And then the second game?
Well, let's not talk about that.
But you did play against Ellie, right?
I'm just kidding.
You played against Ellie?
Yeah.
So
team, yeah.
Cameron teammate also plays for Australian Matilda's team. So Cote played against
And
her.
Chile too.
And Alex Chilean, who Cote used to train with in the gym.
It was fun. It was fun.
How is that playing against people you know?
Question.
I'm already on it there. I don't need to see your notes. Put your notes away. How did you find that playing against them? When Chids came on, alright, so Chids, you were playing the full game, I think it was 65th minute or something on that. Chids come on for the Australian team. Cote's already out there playing the game. I teared up. I was like, oh my god, this is the shit, right? My babies are playing. My babies. Did you take a moment and Chids was not a player killer?
RBF.
How do you think? Yeah, RBF, right on it. And when she came out for that, or then obviously when playing Ellie as well, but obviously I would say more Chids because you've had more sort of
Look, you don't have friends when you play. There's no friends, no family. You just gotta go. Sometimes if we have more time and the ball is over there and she's marking or I'm marking her, we'll be like, hey man, how are you doing? And stuff, talk a little bit.
Actual conversation.
Yeah.
Tell me about the family.
If it's not intent, if the ball is not with us, you would do hey, I'm good, and then you talk at the end.
Yeah.
But usually, with the Matildas, we couldn't talk. It was intense, and also we didn't want Australia to score, and she wanted to score Chile. I remember she got the ball, someone hit her really bad, and then she was next day, who was that player? She grabbed my jersey. I was going to score, and I look at her and laughing sorry.
No English.
That's what we do. So, no, it's fun, but no, you don't there's no friends. When at the start of the game you're shaking hands, you say, hey, good luck, man, or how you do, or how are you, whatever. But no much. It's all at the end. It's all at the end.
And at the end, Australia won. So everyone's happy, everyone's having a great time. You guys are yeah, you're supposed to be anyway. Blah, blah, blah. If you guys had won, Chids would have been dark.
Yeah.
Dark. There'd be no friends.
Yeah.
Ever again.
She'd hold a grudge.
She doesn't. She would have been more or less this is bullshit, and then we'd give a shit through WhatsApp. It'd be fine. All that.
Chids is attack as well. Forward.
She's number 10, plays midfielder.
Yeah, midfielder.
Sometimes she plays forward.
Mm.
Forward, short forward. Not all.
Yeah, so just plays kind of attacking midfield.
Yeah, attacking midfielder.
So you'd never really get close to each other other than the ground, right?
No, we don't. So.
But they did. There was one moment. Really? In the game. There's one moment. I got on camera in the game. There was this one moment where who was running? Cote was running back with the ball, or you were running up the wing with the ball, and Chiz has kind of come out from midfield and then was chasing with the ball, and I was just like, oh my god, what is happening right now? And I got all these videos.
You know why it's so excited? Because we were training for so long, and we never thought that we would get to play together. Like Chile so far, we were not even in a FIFA ranking FIFA before. Not even. Imagine not even between 40 countries. None. Like we were, who is Chile?
Yeah.
So training with her, Matilda for me was great, you know, athlete performing, training, whatever. And then we got this game. It's just like, we play, like, are you coming? Yeah, like so excited. Like football, you know, giving this opportunity to play against each other. It's amazing. Like we were just like training for the same reason, to be or to qualify for the World Cup.
And it wasn't, like it was never on the radar for Australia to play Chile. It would never happen.
No.
And then in March this year, Stadge came. So Stadge is the Australian women's coach of the women's team. He came to a talk here, and I got there early and I was talking to him. I got there 45 minutes early just so I could spend some time in the same room, one-on-one. Creepy. I was the creepiest dude. I don't care.
I can see that.
I'm super creepy. You know what? You got to do what others don't do to get where you want to go, right? Anyway,
so far.
in that conversation, Stadge said to me, Australia's going to play Chile in November. And I was like, what? He goes, so we're in talks now to have a conversation to play Chile in November. And I was like, I know what Chile is. And that's when it got started. And like, you can't trust, you know, no association, but you can't trust that things will go through. There's a lot of different things that they come to play, where they're playing, who's playing where, all this kind of stuff. Like, you never really know. And then as I started to get closer to the day, I was like, oh, I've got an announcement to make, it's coming up. And I was like, yeah, this is not. And then they announced it like playing Chile, and I was like, straight on the WhatsApp. Like, no, I was kind of more like in shock. I was like, is this actually going to happen or not? And then obviously they announced it, and then they went through like the dates and where it was, and I was just like freaking out. So this is so good. The first game was on Saturday in Penrith, and I couldn't make it because I talked to Heather. And I said, oh, are you going? Camera coach, I said, are you going? She was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Penrith. And I had a wedding to DJ that night. And I was like, damn, I can't make it. So I did this crazy 22-hour flight. Not flight, but like 22 hours of in, and then went to Newcastle to a game, and then up late, chat to the Chiz, and then back to the next night with Sky. Like, it was ridiculous. I had to move all the shit to try and like, I'm making this flight. Yeah. To make that second game, because there was no way I was going to miss it. No way.
So you were there for the second game?
I was there for the second game. I stayed.
Bad luck for me.
Bad luck for you. I was... it's a story in itself, but I had tickets from the Chileans, I had tickets from the Aussies. I got into a corporate box, and
I remember this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I stayed with the best part. I stayed with the Chilean media team. Yeah, I did.
Very good. Thanks for that.
Thank you. Because I didn't have any.
You still like.
I'm still red. I'm still red. Right. And all over here.
Nah, it was fun. It was a fun game, and not just that. I think it's also. We were like people here, some of them they underestimate you because you're from Chile maybe, and as I said, not even close to Matilda's. And then hearing like Chile's coming to Australia, when people before were like, well, Chile's playing against Peru, like kind of like, who are they? Yeah. Like every time I say, oh, I play for the national team. What team, Chile? Oh, what team did you play recently? Oh, we just play against Peru. Let's say friendly game. No. And then coming here to play against them, and not just that, but we won the first game. You just kind of like tell people, not even tell them, showing them, like, boom. Yeah. And exactly, that's I think is the best part of just like having that moment of showing them, like, hey, it's because you gotta not just respect people or countries, but just more than that is we are not the same, but we're trying at least to be there. Yeah.
So that was in November.
We played in November, but this was a year ago.
Oh, a year ago.
So have you never thought that we would play them.
Have you played any other big name teams, top 6, top 5 teams since?
Yeah, we play against France, United States.
Oh, not since.
Oh no, that was on the last FIFA dates.
That was the last one.
So this year, that was the last one.
Oh, okay. So when you won and then lost to Australia.
Yeah.
That was November just gone.
November, so yeah.
Okay.
Usually you go for 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got another one coming up in January
Yeah,
sometime, but
I
I'm
think
not sure
so.
where.
So the Australia was the one that sort of put you on the map of here we are. We're not just this number 39 ranked Chile team. We're
Yeah,
competitive
exactly. Yeah,
against
you
the
know,
top
like
six.
sometimes many people here,
Yeah.
like you know, like underestimating, like oh, national team, but that's Chile only, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, well, what can we do?
We can
But
beat
I'm from
Australia.
Chile, you know, like I'm proud, I'm trying to do my best, and then coming here,
Yeah.
you know, people, oh, Chile's playing, it was great, it was massive. We had so many people, seriously, so many people come out to the game and they were singing and plus winning. Like it's massive for us.
And Chileans really get around it. Like the Chilean people really get around. Obviously, they're footballers, okay. They really get around that. I think I do want to bring this up. I don't know if you got it in your notes, but I want to bring this up. The best part for me over the last year was.
I think we're on the same page.
Was what? Hang on, you go.
Is it the ground?
It's the grand.
Yeah.
I'm going.
That was two
the next
things
one.
left.
Let's do the grand. The best part for me was when you were here with training, you had about 4,000 people following you. Then you went to Copa, you scored the goal, you did the media tours, met the president, and then next minute, it was like 80,000 followers. And I said to you, what the hell happened? And you were like, I don't know, man. I woke up and it was like, beep, 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 80,000 times, it doesn't happen, what the fuck?
So you literally went to bed at 4,000 and woke up at 80. Is it that clear cut?
Imagine, you know, you always dream like, oh, followers are cool, and then wait, what's happening?
But do you
Am I in the right number?
Do you have notifications on your phone?
Yeah, but I think it stopped telling you because so many. I think
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
get that regularly.
You get it.
So it doesn't. But no, I mean, the followers are followers, and I always appreciate the love
Yeah.
of people, and they're very into what you're doing, and it's great. It's great to have not just the support, but many people message me and say, hey, you know, I follow you, and it's great to see what you do, and it motivates me. So to listen to that, it's also good, I think, for athletes. Having that.
Do you know, like outside of the field now, she doesn't actually walk. She meant to like go up and carry her around. It's like I'm on 90,000 to
Like
go
a
to
big
carry her.
coat with like a collar
Yeah.
that pops up.
Yeah, whips her every now and again.
Well,
Faster!
Josh told me, you know, this girl's got like 80,000. I'm like, oh, we're not going to check it out. I'm like, bullshit, she got 92. So I went and she has 92,000 followers.
You lied
Yeah.
to me.
You lied.
Yeah. Last time I checked, it was like 80. She's just regular on contact to me, man. I don't go by the ground.
It's
like
funny,
that.
I was thinking about it. When I met you, was it Tuesday?
Yeah,
in the gym?
Tuesday.
I saw you, and because I had a quick stalk on Instagram to see at least what you look like, so I could recognize you when I saw you.
Okay.
So, that's Cote. I didn't call you that. I think I called you
Cote.
No, I
Cody,
think
I
you called it Cody. Many people call
Or coach.
It's a coach or Cody, and I was like,
many
none of them.
people call me Cody.
Cody. So that's Cody over there. No, so I recognize you, and I'm like, I started to feel what people feel around my boys. Because people come to me like, oh, you know, it must be so cool hanging out with these guys. I'm like, they're a bunch of idiots. They're just these bunch of, they're my boys. I don't think that much of them. Like, love them, they're great guys, but they're not supreme athletes to me. They're not like superstars, they're just my boys. Then I'm like,
You got that.
that's Cody over there.
It's Cody.
There's an international soccer star. Like, I feel a bit
That's what we're
nervous.
talking about.
I feel like
Do
a
you
bit
see
nervous.
that little one over there?
I'm like 3 times your weight and probably twice your height or something like that.
It's just the aura, just.
There you go. So before you go to, I'm going to get a selfie.
Yeah,
Sorry, I can
good.
stick it on my gram.
No, it's alright.
I'm here.
Murph wants to follow us. So the best, I think the best thing for me, I said to you before, is that when you were in Japan, and I wrote a program like do this stuff, and she would be in the gym, she would like tag me in it so I could see what you're doing. But then also she had the followers, and I was like, cool, what's going on here? I reckon the first one or second stories you did of your training. Next thing you know, my phone went hot, like it was like 40, it wasn't 80,000, it was 40 people.
Close.
It was, and I was like,
That's not
I didn't have to see your stories, so I got to my house.
Really, she just went to 40 of the following section.
Yeah, just hey, just follow this guy. His German message. So I went to my phone and I hadn't seen the stories yet, and I saw like my notifications. I just saw like Follow.
40 people.
But as I'm reading the names, I'm like, these are these bots? But they're like,
pronounce
they
them.
can't pronounce names, and all these Spanish names come through, and I was sort of like, after I was like, oh, I reckon it was Cote or some
Cote.
shit. Yeah. And then again, I was like, got that taken to post. I was like, ah.
You were like, where is this coming from? And even myself, when someday I'm getting more followers than usual, like 1 or 2, I'm getting like 10 or a couple. I'm like, was I in a newspaper, in a photo, and like, yeah, like I'm trying to think like, where is this coming from? Let me check if someone posts a photo, then I'm getting followers. But yeah, I ask myself because, like especially if you're doing much or like people want to interview, sometimes I don't know, busy. But you always ask yourself, like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. Look, I don't take it like, like I'm superstar. I just take it like I always appreciate and I say thanks to them because they people that really support you and they follow you for some reason. You must maybe you give them a message, you motivate them. I always look at it like that.
So have you sent out 92,000 messages?
Look, I try. Believe it or not, I try when people are like giving me a lot of message and sometimes please, like we're doing for this kid, they really want like big fan of you, record a video. I'm not gonna do 90,000 videos, but sometimes I select and I say, okay, and I send videos. So they're very happy, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So I try, but it's not easy also being all day,
It's not easy being Cote.
It's not easy being Connie. I think, you know what? Tag that. We've been here a while.
Been here a while.
We've been here a while, so we better let Connie go. No, thank you for coming.
Before we go, we have to say happy birthday for Monday.
Do we sing it?
Should we?
Should I sing it? I really hear people
I think
doing
in
it.
Spanish. Cumpleaños.
I don't know in Spanish. I didn't actually learn in Spanish. How about I do it in the best Australian accent I can for your followers? Happy birthday.
Out of tune.
Terrible. Happy birthday for Monday.
Happy birthday for Monday.
Thank you.
You're going to hear from me anyway. I'll put a video up for you. 90,000 followers as well. And we'll definitely be seeing you soon and we'll catch up with you.
Thank you. And thanks for inviting me and we're here for anything.
Good stuff.
And, yeah.
We'll be back soon on the episode. Special episode. We'll bite this up and we'll put it out sometime in the future.
Yes.
Cote,
Cote.
Murph,
Goody, goody, goody.
Mitise. Thanks guys.
Peace.